Am I quiet? Why am I quiet? Make sure everything's plugged in. Go with that. I mean, it doesn't seem super quiet, just like a little bit. Hello? 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 Oh. Is it quiet? How we doing? Are you fine? No? Okay, cool. I don't know. Maybe it's my headphones. How we doing? Happy Tuesday. Sorry, guys. I wasn't here yesterday. I was fighting. I don't think it was a flu because it was pretty quick. Just kind of like felt awful. Maybe I just burned out. I don't know. But on Sunday morning, I woke up at 3 a.m. to feed my son, and I felt like I was literally this close to being in the grave. So, I got Kate up and said, hey, I think I'm getting sick. This isn't smart. And then I took the day and just healed up. I felt way better by the end of the day. I don't know if it was just sleep deprivation catching up with me, but whatever. So I didn't feel credible yesterday, so I wanted to take one more day. So that's why we're here today. It's your monitoring quiet because you hear me fine. Got it. Thank you. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? A lot of YouTube people. Hey, YouTube people, hit the little thumbs up on the old stream. And also, anyone who came in from YouTube, was there a thumbnail this time? Did we have a thumbnail this time? Because I've been informed that I should be doing that. I'm still learning this YouTube thing. I'm a Twitch streamer, guys. Twitch streamer. Mets fan 1,000. Number 1,000 Mets fan of all time. 48 months. That's 4 years. CMJ, 43 months in a row on Twitch. Thank you so much as well. We do have memberships on YouTube, if that is interesting to you. But as we revamp the show here and I get into my studio space, then you don't have to do that. No one needs to sub or whatever. It's whatever. Anyway, it's always gonna be free. I'm gonna let the chat flow for the it's foreseeable future. So there's no. It's all just because you enjoy being here and whatever. But it's never ever gonna be. I'm never gonna ask you to do it. But if you would like to and get ahead of the curve and start building your streak, you can. But once we get into the studio, that's when all of our notifications from both platforms will all be up on the screen. We'll be able to see everything. And if you want to ask a question or a super chat or whatever, it'll actually be on the screen. And that's just more value. So if you want to just hold off and wait till that's up and working, it's just there's a lot going on. So just letting you know that it's there, it's available, the button works, and there are badges. But there's going to be a lot of perks that be rolling out over time. So if you want to wait till that happens, then do that. Any memories of the games against the Angels? I got lots to talk about today. You hear Eno talk about updating Stuff Plus model? Yes, he gave me the big rundown below. And I also have a statistic that I am working on, my own statistic about Command, which is going to be really fun. And I'm going to run it by him once we get it developed. I have a friend actually helping me code and develop the machine learning because it's going to take. It's a little bit technologically tough, but he knows exactly what I'm talking about, and he's got a professional at it, so we're gonna figure it out. But yes, I have talked to Eno about it. We have a lot going on today, so let me just give you a quick rundown of the show, little housekeeping before we go. We are going to talk about free agency a shit ton. So anyone who has questions about free agency, Pete Alonso, frickin' Gerrit Cole's thing, Garrett Soto, we're going to talk about it all. So just bear with me. We got a few things to talk about too. There's been some news, so much news and it is election day, and I just don't want to think about it anymore because it's annoying. Now, what if I got in here and be like, "Hey guys, gotcha. Who'd everyone vote for?" What if I just hit you with that? Hopefully everyone will be like, no, and then we move on. I hope that was a trick question. That's how you're supposed to react. So we'll do the news. Just a reminder. The merch is up. All of these Just Punching tickets, hats for every single team will be up by December 1st. I have all the designs done. They just need to be uploaded. Working on with Emily with doing that. So thumbs up there. Basically every single colorway for every team in the league. And then I will also work on some colorways for the City Connect, which will be fun. So these are up on my website, exclamation point merch in the chat if you want. That's fourth wall. I run those through. They're awesome. They're awesome hats. I really enjoy them. They're really high quality. Dad hats if you're into them.
And snapbacks will also be coming as well. And then Focus Fuel, don't forget to get your 15% discount on Focus Fuel, thefocusfuel.com/ just type exclamation point Focus Fuel, click that link, and then the code will automatically give you 15% off. It's code baseball though. Surprise. They're delicious energy gummies, caffeine, candy. It's so good. I love it. There's a peach one now. It's disgusting how good it is. So those were my updates there. Who do I see Pete Alonso signing with? We will talk about that in just a moment. Usually watch my videos and VODs. Okay, Cass, you watch the VODs. People watch VODs, and I didn't know that. Like, a lot of people watch VODs. So I appreciate that. Welcome in. Good to be here. You voted for my mom. She appreciates it. She'd do a good job. She's forgetful, though, so I don't know. Please consider even smaller run of fitted hats. I have a dumb big head. I have really bad luck with one-size-fits-all hats. I mean, though, they're all adjustable, so they're not stretchy. They're like, does it look like I have a small noggin? This is a 7 5/8. I think this goes up to 8. Like, look how much extras on the back of this. So I'm just saying, like, this goes up to 8+. I just throw it out there. And also, this is it's like a deep crown hat. So like it goes deeper onto your crown. So usually with dad hats, I always had the problem with it like sitting on top of my head like a yarmulke. These fit on your head much, much better. So just throwing it out there. I also have a massive head, and I usually can't turn these, pull these off, and I've enjoyed it. But yes, to answer your question, flying, yes, I will consider that. There are fitted options. They look a little, I think they only had like the sheen on them, and I was like, oh, I don't really like that. And I actually like the embroidered side. I think you could only iron. They were like trucker hat, like foam. They look like, I don't know. I'll try. Big Dodgers fan. I feel like they focus on Tio and Walker and bring them back, make Soto backup option. Thoughts? Yeah. I mean, you can say Soto backup option. Soto's not going to be anyone's back. Like, you can't. He's just not. He's either your main option or he's not on the table. Those are the two options. Do you think Trevor Bauer gets another shot? No, I think it's over. I think it's over now. Low profile. Yeah, that's what I meant. Mayday Dodgers pen. No, I'm old. Everything hurts. You should. Yeah, everything hurts. Everything hurts. Everything hurts so bad. In the best way possible. Are we going to talk about that 5th inning? We are. All right. I don't know why, but I dislike the current MLB hats. The current ones, they've been the same for years. What do you mean? They've been new era fitted hats for literally like 50 years. How old am I? 35. How do you feel about the qualifying offers? We're going to talk about that in a moment too, Eric. Thank you for bringing it up. So here's our main subjects. When I get in the studio again, anyone who's new and hasn't been here before, and I am moving into a studio space where this show is going to be much, much more easy to what is going to happen in the show will be on the screen when you come in, so you'll know what's happening, kind of like PTI. Okay, so we're going to run it a little bit like that, with 1 hour like that, and the other one's kind of more open format where I'm reading chat a lot. Like, I'm going to read chat the whole time. I'm going to be able to see it the whole time. I might stop what I'm saying and answer a question here and there, but then one of the 2 hours is going to be mostly just for engaging with you guys, and the other one's going to be more structured. So, because I don't have that yet, because I'm developing it with a team, and it takes some time, and I also I can't get out of this goddamn house because I have a 5-week-old, and he needs to be. You got to watch him all the time. Like, you can't just leave him alone. It stinks. So I'll give you a quick rundown. I got some news. We're going to talk about what's going to happen here at the beginning here of the offseason, like what all the main big deadlines and things going through the offseason, and then we'll build off of that. So I have a couple like things that happen on Twitter I want to talk about. There's a new stadium being proposed, the A's name change. There's another interesting thing in there about streaming that I wanted to weigh in on. And then our main subject today will be touching on the infamous 5th inning from Game 5 the other day. For all the free agency stuff, which is going to take a lot of the stuff. And then for fun, if we want to do it, there was a Reddit thread about the best baseball movies, because I currently have 2 breakdowns of baseball movies being edited for YouTube.
So it's near and dear to my heart, and I just thought we could have that conversation if we have time. I don't think we are going to have time. It's just there just in case. And then we're going to talk about qualifying offers, all the qualifying offers that happened, and then what the hell they are. Because I don't know if all of you, does everyone know what a qualifying offer is and what it means and where like it comes from? Or could we do a little bit of a deeper dive on that? So I want to do free agency and I want to talk about qualifying offers because they're really, really relevant right now. So no clue, no idea, no idea. All right, we will chat about it. It's really, really, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. And then it actually, when I explain it to you, you'll then figure out what the game, because it's a little bit of a chess match, because some teams are putting out the qualifying offer because they actually want to keep the guy, and other teams are putting out the qualifying offer because they want the draft pick. So they don't want him to accept it. So like there's benefits of offering a qualifying offer knowing they're not going to take it, and then there's benefits of offering a qualifying offer and knowing they're going to take it for the teams. It's a push or pull. It's really, really interesting. So that's all the stuff we're going to get in, and I will explain it all. All right, let's get into the news. The business. Oh, look. The business Prime sub used the free sub that Amazon somehow hasn't quietly just gotten rid of, which is mind-boggling to me. I'm sure they'll do it soon and say that it's good for creators somehow. But thank you. And anyone who has an Amazon Prime account who is on Twitch for the first time, maybe a lot of you guys are new, you have a free sub. It's just sitting there, like for free. You just click it and it gives it to you for free. So you can sub to basically it just pays a creator just whatever their payout is, basically for free from Amazon. And I always highly recommend, doesn't have to be to me, but highly recommend that you have it being used at all times if you can. Just it could help people out, especially with how things. Doesn't need to be me. How things have been lately. You need every dollar you can get, right? You guys all agree. Soto was a Gold Glove finalist. His defense is better than people think. He's average. He's remarkably average in the outfield, and that was just because he's Juan Soto. Guys, Brian Dozier won a Gold Glove one year, but he hit 42 home runs. That's why he got it, because he hit, not because he was the best second baseman. He would be the first one to tell you, right? He was fine, but he was in no way, shape, or form like one of the top 5 second basemen in the league at any given point ever. So, but it's just Gold Glove. It's an inexact science, okay? But anyway, thank God he didn't win it, because his defense in the World Series was legitimately atrocious. I don't think there's any way to dance around it. He just looked uninterested in catching the ball. He just wanted to hit it. So happens. Lindor wasn't a Gold Glove finalist. Cool. And sometimes they just go, "Oh, they made too many errors." Right. Speaking of free agents, if a new team signs you in the offseason, do they pay for housing until you find something? No. Absolutely not. If you're traded in the middle of the season, there might be a grace period in there where either the team that gets you covers your housing for a month or a couple weeks probably, or pays for everything you had in the city to be moved to the new city. I think that's how it works. So there's something there. Thoughts on Santana being 38, wanting to play another 3 to 4 years? Guy's amazing. He's the most underrated player. He just won his first Gold Glove. The guy's a freak athlete. He's more athletic than half the people on the field still. Yeah, play until you can't play anymore if you want, if you're that athletic. I know at 38, I would look like the crypt keeper. So what do you think of Alex Kirilloff retiring? I know I might misspell his last name. I think that it takes a lot of courage to make that decision, man. People who are like, you know what, this shit ain't it anymore for me. I understand. I have all these opportunities. I'm wildly unhappy and I want to be done. And then they decide to be done, especially when it's like an opportunity to like being a professional baseball player. And you still are like, you know what, I am good with my decision. It's hard. It's because there's no coming back. There really isn't. Like, you might get another opportunity if you want, but like, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. right? If you create a space, someone fills that space. You're not getting that space back. So it's one of those things like once you make that decision once, you can't go back on it. You can't. Why did you retire? I wanted to. Same thing. Just didn't want to play anymore. And family, and wanted to have a kid, and I like doing this, and I like being home, and all those reasons. I have a video about it if you want to watch it all. All right, let's get into the news. I want to talk about some news. I have some of this pulled up. So let's talk really quickly about this offseason schedule. Shout out to The Athletic for, once again, Chad Jennings doing a great job. Go read his piece. This is from October 31st. So this is the schedule, key dates through the offseason, okay? These are things we need to pay attention to. Today, this was right after the game ended. The defining the market. Basically, we start to figure out who is opting out, who's not, whatever, in the next 5 days. This all happened, right? This all happened until the 4th, yesterday. And now we're going to see the qualifying out there start going out there. So we'll get out there. All right? Do you think players like Joe Kelly, who threw as many postseason pitches as I did, should be looking at opportunities to talk shit like he is? I think that Joe Kelly's always talk shit no matter what. So I think he's just being him. That's what I think. I don't think talking shit has like any sort of standards, especially in this world we live in. Are you shitting me? You don't even have to tell anything remotely close to the truth anymore. So like, why? Who cares? He said some stuff and whatever. He said the Yankees weren't very good. Oh well, they got beat, and they did play very poor defense. He was right, but like, yeah, he took some shots, but he always takes shots, man. That's who he is. He stands by it. He owns it. He tells people to come out. Like, then okay, talk all you want. I don't know. You can be mad about it though. I agree. Joe just being Joe. We stream more often on Twitch during the offseason. Possibly, Lord. The problem is I have a child. So right when the season ended, I have a child. And the child is making it. So no free time. And unfortunately, video games are free time. They are. So now I have like little side projects that I'm doing. Like little stuff that I can pick up and put down faster than video games, believe it or not. Anyway. Defining the market. So we had a bunch of contract options. As we know, a lot of options out there for higher AAV. AAV is annual something value. How much are you being paid a year? Higher AAV contracts, shorter years with opt-outs between each year. Like Gerrit Cole had one after 4 years. Blake Snell had one after every single year. He's opting out. So on and so forth. So now we know all the people who are opting out and what's happening. Qualifying our offers were all thrown out by yesterday. So there's 100 of those. We'll talk about those in a minute. And then we have all the awards coming out soon. Gold Glove winners already happened. Congratulations to everyone who did that. November 14th, saw the other ones. Cy Young, MVP, all that kind of stuff. General managers meeting. This is interesting. This is like a pre-winter meetings situation where they kind of get their ducks in a row. So everyone like shuffles their papers. So I need to talk to this guy, and this guy, because I'm interested in this guy. And that's where trades start to happen or start to be discussed. Deadline day, 2 deadlines. Qualifying offers have to be done. And then the Rule 5 protection deadline as well. So qualifying offers we will get to in a moment. But the Rule 5 draft is basically players that have played 5 years in the minor leagues, have not been protected by the 40-man roster, so they can't be called up to the big leagues unless they're put on the 40-man roster. You have to be put on the 40-man roster, or you go into a Rule 5 draft. Another team can then draft you, but then they have to put you in the big leagues for the entire season the next year. If they want to send you down or DFA you at any point that time, you go back to the organization you were in, and you resume your shitty contract. Right? You know, a team that does this constantly is the A's. The A's do this all the time. Mark Canha was a Rule 5. Ryan Noda was a Rule 5. They do it all the time. Ryan Presley with the Twins was a Rule 5. So that's what Rule 5 drafts are, and that means they're going to be in the big leagues. They're going to make the team out of spring training, or they won't, and they'll have to go back. Sometimes guys just get sent back in spring training. Then we had the BBWAA Awards Week. We did a video on this recently talking about how if the guy wins Rookie of the Year, then and he's up for an entire season, then that team gets draft picks. So technically, writers can give a team a draft pick, which is crazy, but that was agreed on in the CBA, and I missed it. Everyone missed it. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. Anthony Santander was a Rule 5 draftee. Cool. Trevor, do you want to discuss any Rule 5 prospects and your thoughts on whether or not they were protected? I will be honest, Mr. Subliminal. I will not know enough about these guys. I'll just know their position. I'll know their general size. This offseason is actually, I have a concerted effort. I'm going to make a concerted effort because you know who's good at prospects? Danny Wesselman. So I'm going to get, Danny, what are your sources? How do I learn more about prospects? How can I get, more up? And then maybe we'll do prospect corner and stuff when the show gets updated, and then you guys can help me so I can learn more about prospects because I usually just focus on the big leagues. There's just a lot. You know what I mean? Who should I vote for? Norcat, I'm going to leave that up to you, brother. I think that at this point, studying isn't really necessary. It's basically more like, what side of the internet are you on? Mostly. You know what I mean? Does that feel right? Anyway. So if they ranked in and out of the top 30 for a club, it's typically someone who you've seen protected. Yeah, that's a fringe guy, right? I got protected when I needed to get protected, and then I got traded right away. Which it was action question. That was weird. Yeah, vote for a baseball player. I don't know. It's important though. I'm glad you're voting. Thank you for doing your duty as a citizen. What the hell was I thinking? Jackson Churio got snubbed by who? Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill had a better year. I'll say it. Anyway, okay. So then we have Manager of the Year, Cy Young, MVP, all that stuff. These are all voted by the BBWAA, which is the Baseball Writers Association of America. And then we have the November 22 is the non-tender deadline. Does everyone who doesn't know what non-tendering means? Type 1 in the chat if you would like to know what non-tendering means. And then we have the winter meetings, and that's where all the good stuff happens. I actually might be down in Vegas for this, and I will avoid the main executives of the commissioner's office with every fiber of my being. And then we have the draft lottery, which is just where all the worst teams roll a die, and then whoever wins gets the number 1 pick. Then they do the Rule 5 draft after with whoever's not protected. And then we have ARB figures, so they got to do their ARB negotiation, and they got to yell at each other. January 9th is the deadline, even though everyone goes past it. And then we're going to hear all those great stories about these jokes of arbitration hearings in spring training. And then spring training games begin on the 20th, which is nuts. All right, chicken tenders. You know what non-tender means? Okay, non-tendered. Let me quickly do this. When somebody is non-tendered a contract in major leagues, okay, or is not tendered, they are non-tendered. It's most often someone who is in their year 4 to 6, so they're in arbitration, and instead of offering them a contract for arbitration, they're just going to say, you know what, we're good, and they can just get rid of you. Basically, they don't have to renew a contract. It does happen in the 0 to 3, but those contracts are so cheap that it's rarely, like, there's rarely any. And they also non-tender you when there's no options. They can't send you to the minor leagues. So, like, usually it's 4 to 6 because you get 3 options. It's hard to burn all your options before you're in arbitration, if that makes sense. So, if you're non-tender, they go, we're good. We don't want to give you what you're going to probably be owed. And then they become an unrestricted free agent, and they can sign with anyone else, right? But if they're traded, their same contract just continues, which sucks. Oh, no. And then when they sign with somebody else, they have to negotiate arbitration again. So arbitration just continues. It's like not really free agency. It kind of sucks. It really sucks, actually. But that is what being non-tendered means. So, like, C.J. Cron was non-tendered after hitting 30 homers for the Rays because he was going to be too expensive. So, like, you're going to be too expensive. You're going to cost $5 million a year. That's way more than we want to ever spend, ever. And then they just say, you're good, go on. And then he went on and had to sign an arbitration deal again. It kind of sucks, but non-tendering, that's what that means. If you're on a contract, you get released, and they have to pay you. If you get non-tendered, they don't have to pay you the additional whatever would have, because your contract's continuing, but it's not guaranteed. Guaranteed money though is a release or a designation. All right. Okay. Cool. We did it. Congratulations. You know now. So that's the deadline. Those are the deadlines. We're going to be covering a lot of this stuff as we go. I mean, nothing big. Probably just the winter meetings. Maybe the non-tender deadline. I don't know. We'll talk about it when we get closer. And then we'll have our own. I have my own my own awards presentation I'm going to do in a show too. So those are the dates for the year. Now, do y'all want to see something that you should not do? True clown behavior. Anybody? Four to seven with Super 2. Yeah. Yeah, you guys love it. What day is Cy Young? Cy Young is November 14th. No. It's November 20th. November 20th is Cy Young. Okay. Friends and family, don't do this. So, this is a tweet by Jesse Rogers of Jesse Rogers ESPN. I myself work for ESPN. This is just an indictment of a decision Jesse made, in my opinion, not on ESPN, okay? Meet Austin Capabianco, middle. This goober. The fan that interfered with Mookie. I was talking to him at a local bar with a bunch of other fans, asking him to take a pic with him and ask for his autograph. And blank for his autograph. And for his autograph. He was a beaut. Story up soon at ESPN. If it's our area, we're going to D up. So, I don't know if you know this. Does this feel like a, haha, isn't that funny kind of coverage of this? I'm like, why do you seem like excited about it? The dude literally grabbed a player. Now I get it, guys. Look at these dudes. You know what I mean? I know what they think is funny. Okay? I can tell. They're probably fine guys. I don't care. But this dude is just, haha, yeah, he did it. He went for it. Don't fucking touch people. Like, especially a player, don't grab a shit. Don't touch me. You don't get to touch me. Right? So, I took exception. I said, what the hell are you doing? But this is the one that got me right here. He was a beaut. Honestly, I don't say this lightly. What's wrong with you? That's meant like, what a piece of work, because his quotes were like outrageous. Too ambiguous word, I admit. Jesse, you have the blue check. You're paying the money. You're paying the money. Just change it. I can't help but notice you never changed the word beaut, even though you're saying it was a poor choice of words and you just kept saying it. It's still there. The word is still there. You already made one silly decision, right? You have this stupid-ass little thing, then do this stupid-ass thing. What are we doing? What would you do if I got touched in a game like that? I would probably do the same thing as Mookie. I'd be really angry for a second, and then I'd realize that there's nothing to be had here, and the guy got taken out or whatever. But let's not act like he's a cool guy. He's a clown. The guy's a clown. He owns being a clown, but like, he's not cool. He's not a cool dude. He's the dude that somehow gets skipped when everyone's going out to dinner. Does that make sense? Somehow he didn't make it in the group text. So, and then what else? I saw another picture. I think Barstool had a photo where everyone's like, yeah, this is. It's not awesome. Don't touch people. We're not monkeys. They're just dance for me, monkey. Clap. Just leave it alone. You can be a big fan and not try to rip someone's glove off their hand. So let's not celebrate him, all right? I don't hate him. But it's just like, duh. Like, it's just clown behavior. He did clown shit, whatever. It's not funny. Well, they have to. They have to refund his tickets. His tickets are like $1,500. Like, you have to, right?
Or he probably would have sued for that. That's so much money. You know what I mean? So, like, just pay him so that it's over, right? Just give him his ticket, give him his refund so it's over. That's what they were just like, we don't want to deal with this past today, which was smart. I think it was really smart. And Gronk gave him a shout out. I think I like Rob Gronkowski a lot, but he's a big dumbass. He's dumb as shit. He's just a dumb dummy. He's just a broy dumbass dumb. He's a dumb. That's fine. People can be dumb. It's kind of his brand. So I'm not mad at Rob. I think Rob's awesome. I do. There's something innocent about him. He doesn't mean any harm. Let me just put it that way. I don't feel like Rob Gronkowski ever means any harm. So there's like a social contract with the dumb shit he says. You know, kind of like, you know, there's some comedians out there. That's really good comedians that say some super edgy shit. And you're like, you know what? But I trust that that's not how you actually feel. Right. So anyway, didn't like it. Don't pump these people up. Don't be like, look, guys, you can get famous on the internet if you just do dumbass shit. Like when the kid came up to Jason Kelsey and fucked around and found out. Right? He's a big dummy. $1,500 is minimum wage in NYC. For what time period? No, well, I saw the interview. He said he went to college with him. Makes sense. Anyway. It gets people talking. Oh, 100%. Oh, it's all clickbait. Everything's clickbait. But like, just, it's a choice though, guys. It's a choice. It is a choice. It is a choice. Especially when you're not modifying it. Like, is this supposed to like make his bosses proud of him? I don't know. Big dummy. Anyway. Oof. Going up to a football player and doing that is stupidly brave, but mostly stupid. No, there's no braveness about him. The guy had his hood up. No, he grew up. He's an iPad kid and grew up and thought nothing would ever happen to him, and then suddenly it happened. Oh, you think there might be legal things about the phone? He'll pay it. That's another classic iPad kid thing to do. But I'll sue you. Okay. Anyway, more news. According to the Portland City Council, votes to support building a baseball stadium in South Waterfront. What? There could be a baseball stadium in Portland. Also, guys, why? What is the obsession with the renders of putting these things, like these big glass like wings on stadiums? That's just glare. Anyway, there could be a team in Portland. Will it happen? I don't know. Probably not, but it could. Also, in additional news, the Athletics are now called the Athletics. They are no longer the Oakland A's. Shed a tear real quick. But I think they missed the opportunity to go the Washington Football Club and just did the Sacramento Baseball Club. They should have went there. But I guess they're just the Athletics because they're nomads. They don't have anywhere to go. So whatever. But I'm sure they'll use the exact same jerseys, the ones that say A's on them, Athletics, and not the ones that say Oakland on them. Just, they got to make sure they save some money. So, yeah, look, like, what is this? A baseball stadium for ants? Is it true that MLB is like 70% MAGA? I would say that number is much higher than, not much. I would say it's higher. I wouldn't say MAGA. Like, that's not fair. There's a lot of guys who are right wing that aren't but they're not. So let me just be clear. But yes, I would say the vast majority leans right. I mean, wealthy people who are wealthy. Like, what do you think? And it's also majority from the South, like the demographics and where everyone's from, and just like how they were raised, and also the amount of money guys make, and the lack of understanding of how taxes work. Generally, it's just, of course, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense like that. Some people make it their identity. Some just vote. Yeah. Anyway,
All right. Let's talk. We're gonna get in free agency in one moment, but I have one. Okay, so what do you guys want to get into first? I'll ask you. We'll run this through you guys. What do we want to get into first? Do we want to talk about qualifying offers and opt-outs and stuff? Let's do opt-outs and qualifying offers and stuff, and then we'll talk about free agents and where they could go. Because I think the other one of those needs to be talked about first. So I'm not going to give you guys any power. I'm just going to do it. Ooh, actually, I have one last thing. Sorry, guys. I forgot. This isn't baseball related, but this is streaming related. So I just want your opinion on it. And we're not going to watch the video. We'll do this quickly. But I really want to know your guys' opinion because you'll be different. I think you'll have a different perspective than a lot of the people who have already weighed in. But this is always a hot, contentious subject, and I do not know why. So, Playboy Max, who I think is on Twitch, he could be on Kick. I don't know. I'm getting real Kick vibes here, but I don't know. Claims that being a streamer is harder than a 9-to-5 job and that no one truly understands what a top streamer goes through mentally. Thoughts? What do you guys think? I'll say a couple things. One, it depends on the job. Yeah, I know. Hot take. Oh, weird. There's nuance. I once had someone, I got in an argument once, right, about how I was spending my time. And they basically let it slip and said, yeah, but everything you do is made up. That's what they said, like about streaming and whatever. And because I enjoyed doing it. And I was like trying to, pay attention to KPIs and make money and whatever. And I was like, first of all, no. Second of all, imagine being the only generator of anything you're supposed to do. You have to come up with every idea, and then you have to do it all. Like, nothing happens unless you do it. There's a certain level of stress that comes with that, especially when you're a content creator, and when you stop, money stops. Like, you have to keep going, or you don't make money. Like, you have to. There's no pay time off. There's no, like, planned anything. Like, you trying to keep attention all the time. There's a certain level of stress where if you are, like, just a pawn or just a peon or just a worker in a 9-to-5 job, at least you can step back from responsibility at a certain level. You can be like, it wasn't me, it was him, but whatever. And you can just kind of like be like, meh. At least you can be like, I don't know. You can half-ass it, is what I'm saying. You can't half-ass it. When you get to a certain level, you can for a while, which you've already made your money at that point. But like you have to be on all the time, and there is a point to be made there, I think. But that said, you are your own boss, so now you got to flip it and say the pros of all those things is you got to make your own hours, you got to pick your own times, you got to be at your own house, you don't have to listen to anybody either. So that's a positive. It just depends on. It's like that's a positive sometimes, it's negative sometimes. It's the same thing as the 9-to-5 job. You get paid a lot less usually. Unless if you're a top guy, you get paid tons, right? But the mental exhaustion I felt from doing this type of stuff is crazy, is way worse than any other mental exhaustion I felt from another job ever. Even baseball, I was physically exhausted, but like when your brain's fried, but your body feels fine, it's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. So, my audio's low? Are you sure? I was asking earlier. You don't take the stress home with you as much. Yeah, and also work-life balance is almost impossible. Almost impossible when you make content. I already know that right now, right? There's days where I'm like, I gotta, and I'm like, I don't have to do anything, Trevor, stop. So, there's positive and negatives, right? And there are certain things you're just not going to experience. But again, I don't know what it's like to go work in a sewer. I don't know what it's like to do manual labor all day and be like, I have 6 more hours of this. Like, that's daunting to a level. I was an athlete. I broke my body down, right? I know what that's like. I know what the slog's like. There's days where I was like, I'm making lots of money. I still hate this, right? So, like, I just don't think there's winning. I just don't think anyone wins. I think that doing something all the time for hundreds of hours a month just gets hard at times. That's what I think. Is that good? But it's so funny. It depends on the individual streamer and the specific 95 they're referring to. That's the problem. Every time a streamer says shit like this, they're terrible at explaining it. So I just thought I would throw it out there that, yeah, there are certain elements of it. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, being famous is probably awesome most of the time, but sometimes it probably sucks ass, right? Yeah, it would be great. It'd be great to be like really rich and like known for being the greatest at something. But also sometimes maybe you just want to go to the grocery store and have no one stare at you. Just once, right? But I think the pros outweigh the cons. So, but that's not to say that there isn't any cons, right? Do you lose half your pay to do taxes? Yes. Well, now I don't, but my last year I paid 51% in taxes. He can say his job is hard mentally. Exactly. You're talking to a lot of people who aren't as fortunate as you, and they're just not going to get on your level. They're not going to understand. It takes a lot of effort to understand. And sometimes, and usually the audiences, they're not really in there. They're not trying to use a bunch of brain power to understand. Yeah. If a person just like streams normally and whatever, but like, I'll be honest, like Kai Zenat, right? He's everywhere all the time. The guy never freaking like he's constantly flying around the country and doing these things. Like there's a point. I talked to Ninja in depth about this. Just like, yeah, there was a time he's like, dude, where I was like, I don't know when my next day off is. I don't know when the next day I can just like have a dinner at home is, and that's daunting. That's really that sucks. So you like try to balance taking advantage of your opportunities while getting the rest you need. And it's the same thing. I'm super ADD, so I'm always like, I can go. I can do it. And then one day I'm like, I can't do it, and I just collapse. There's no in between for me. So anyway, I thought it was to be interesting. I thank you for listening to me on that. Let's get into the other stuff. All right, we're gonna talk about qualifying offers and shite. Let me explain qualifying offers to you, and then we will talk about the opt-outs. All right. So let's do a little breakdown of the QO, the qualifying offer. I have a little presentation. I have the information. All right. So do we know? Braves apparently showing interest in Eovaldi. That is very interesting to me as well. Eovaldi's going to be a good pickup for somebody, along with some other guys who've been mentioned, Pivetta, so on and so forth, which we will talk about in one moment. I'm excited about that, though. I want to see where he goes. I think it's going to be a really interesting one. And there's so many guys represented by Scott Morris that it's going to be even more interesting. All right, qualifying offer basics. A qualifying offer is a 1-year contract at a salary determined by the MLB. The salary is set each year and typically the average of the top 125 player salaries, right? So it's the top 125 player salaries in the league averaged out qualifying offer. It's a 1-year deal thrown at somebody, okay? This year, it is $21 million. Last year, it was $19.65 million. Thank you, Shohei Ohtani. Right? All right? So, the people who can be given qualifying offers are only eligible free agents, people who are going into free agency. So they're either going to enter free agency, and then they're say, okay, you can go out in free agency, or you can take this qualifying offer. If you guys remember, a couple years ago, the QO was thrown at Noah Syndergaard after he threw 2 innings. It was like $18.6 million, and then he said, and then the Angels were like, we'll give you 1 year, $21 million, and they beat the offer. So he's like, I'm taking that, and he went, and everyone was mad at him because of loyalty and blah 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 blah, blah, which doesn't exist. And it was a better deal. He got a better deal, and it was used as leverage for a better deal. So he got that deal because he was QO'd. All right. Why would you QO somebody? Okay, so the player is 10. You have to. These players who have spent the entire previous season with the team that they're on and not received a qualifying offer. So you can only get it one time in your career, and you have to be going into free agency. So that limits the number of people who can get him per team. If you notice, the Mets constantly have like 3 or 4 guys to give QOs to all the time because they're always having guys go in. So Tyler O'Neill didn't get one, but Pivetta did. Now there's a couple of reasons. We're going to get into it in a moment. Why someone would get one and why someone else wouldn't. For example, I think they can get Tyler O'Neill for cheaper than that. They can extend him for cheaper, for example. And Pivetta is going to leave. They are convinced he is going to leave. They know he wants a multi-year deal, so they're going to offer him that because if he declines it, they get a draft pick. They get a draft pick. And then if teams get afraid to sign him, because now they'll lose a draft pick if they sign him, then they get him at that price. So it's like a win-win for the team. This sounds like a great thing for players, but in reality, it creates a bunch of leverage over them again. Like, if you get QO'd, you're getting limited. Now a team has to say, we have to sign this guy and lose a draft pick. Now, do we want to do this? It kind of sucks because then it's not really, it's kind of restricted free agency. Right? So you get 10 years, and there's only 10 days to accept it. So like you don't have time to negotiate in any big way, which also sucks. Okay. All right. So if they leave, the team they were on gets a draft pick. How the draft picks work depends on, there's a bunch of factors. How big's the contract they just signed? How big of the market is that team in? Blah, 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 blah. And there's supplemental picks that are sandwiched in between. Basically, they just tack them onto the end of rounds, okay? And where those rounds are depends on all the other factors I just mentioned. I don't know what they all are. It's probably a stupid equation. I don't really know. But, and there's luxury tax as well. Like if the team is going over the luxury tax or not going over the luxury tax, it changes it. Just all you need to know is this. If they send a QO and the player declines that QO, the team they were on gets a draft pick. The team that then signs them will lose a draft pick. It just one adds, one subtracts, right? And that's the new thing that adds. So when qualifying offers are thrown out, there's 2 things you want to do. You either want to get the player for that price. You're like, this would be a deal for us even at 1 year, $21 million. Still be a deal because they're pitching really well. Or they're definitely not going to take it, and we're going to get a draft pick, which is what the Red Sox did. So, like, here's an example. The Mets offered one to Severino. They want Severino back. Right? That's what I guess. What draft pick do I lose? Again, it depends on the other team that signs them. So whoever signs them then dictates what kind of draft pick you get. But let's just put it this way. The team that puts out the qualifying offer, they'll take any draft pick they can get. Oh, and Manaea. And Manaea pitched so well, they know he's not going to take it. But Manaea wasn't offered a qualifying offer. He opted out because he had a second year on his contract. That's different. But had they offered him one because he was going to be a free agent, they would have probably gone like, we're going to get a draft pick because he's not going to take it because he pitched so well, right? Yes, comps. It's the comp second, third, or fourth rounds usually, right? Okay. So when they do stuff like this, it's for one of those 2 reasons, and that's why you see so many of them. So we've had a lot. We've had a lot of QOs, and I have them here. Let's talk about them. So let's talk about what these are and which one they are. Willy Adames. He was offered because he's not going to take it. He's going to be one of the biggest shortstops out there available. They want the pick. Pete Alonso. They threw it to him. Do you know why? Because they either extend him, they either sign him to a free agent contract. He's not going to take it. He's not going to take it. So they're going to get the pick. If they're going to lose Pete Alonso, they might as well get the pick. Same thing. But if it doesn't matter if they end up signing Pete Alonso back. That's still an option as well, right? Bregman, again, he's going to be a free agent. Astros might as well get the pick. Corbin Burns might as well get the pick. Max Fried might as well get the pick. Teoscar Hernandez. Now that one's interesting, but he was an all-star. He's going to try to go to a multi-year deal. He's still pretty young. They're going to get the pick. Sean Manaea. Again, I don't know how he got a QO when he had an opt-out. It's interesting. Oh, he opted out and then he got QO'd. That's how. Once you opt out, the contract's null and you're a free agent, then you can be QO'd. That's what he did. So you have to opt out before you can be QO'd. Duh. Understand. Interesting. Oh, I didn't. That's crazy. Okay, Nick Martinez. No, this one's interesting. Same thing. He opted out. They threw him out. They probably want the pick. When guys opted out, they basically say, hey, I want to text the free agent market. They're like, cool, here's a QO so we can get a free pick at least. MLB rule changes takes baseball and changes it from game that is a battle of ideas and is natural rhythm to complete garbage. Well, I mean, in their defense, and I don't offend them often, but in their defense, we're trying to solve competitive balance issues in creative ways. At least these are competitive balance. We're trying to get teams to be more even because they're not willing to do it in a revenue way because they're all they care about is their money. Because they're a billionaire. Like, that's what happened. It's always going to be money first. Always. It will never be not money first. Something else might pop in ahead of money for like 5 minutes, and then once that's taken care of, it's back to money. Like, that's just how it's going to work, right? Nick Pivetta, they think he's going to leave. He should leave. He should take advantage. He's 31. The thing is, he's 31. The difference between going free agency at 31 and 32 is like night and day. So just night and day. Do it when you're 31. And he was definitely good down the stretch last year. He should get some love. Santander, again, same thing. They're going to get a pick. Severino, they might want to keep him. Juan Soto, thank you for the pick. Christian Walker, great, thank you for the pick. Most of these are just for the pick. Right? Now, this one's interesting. No Shane Bieber. That's free. I think they want to re-sign him. I think they want to re-sign him to a multi-year deal, and they can get him cheaper. This one was interesting. I think they can re-sign him as well to a cheap deal. I think they can get Walker Buehler for like a 1 year 15. That's what I think. Same thing with Goldie. I think these guys think they can get cheaper ones. The Jurickson Profar one, I think they're just letting him go. Ha-Seong Kim, same thing. The Tyler O'Neill one's interesting. And Gleyber Torres is interesting. I don't know why you wouldn't go Gleyber. I think they're just not confident any of these guys will leave. And that they can get them cheaper. Yeah, it'll be like 2 for $30 with a mutual option or like a player option halfway through or something. Right? And a lot of these guys have been QO'd, so they can't go. So that's what QOs are for. That's why they do it. And evidently, we learned this. I kind of learned this in real time with you. You can get qualifying offered after you opt out of your contract. Did you hear that? Goldschmidt said he's leaving. Yeah, I mean, I would too. I think he needs to change the scenery. So that's what's super interesting. It's a lot of there's a lot of draft pick things in here now because look at the Orioles, the Astros, how they built their teams. It's these teams that have built better player development. It's these teams that have built better player development systems in their organizations. Now they are prioritizing draft picks even more because they think they can build these stars and have them for really cheap for a long time. See, yeah, Orioles, Astros, Rays. The teams have done this really well with their top picks. They're just trying to take advantage of it. How much do you think Goldschmidt wants? I don't think Goldschmidt's like thinking. He seems like a pretty chill dude. I don't think it's about money. I don't think I think the Cardinals are about to make some changes, bringing on Kyle Bloom. Right, like I just think Goldie's out, man. I just think the ship has sailed. I think that maybe it's just cut ties, get done. Critic Clothing, what's up? Welcome back. Thank you so much for your brand new Prime sub. Actually, not even welcome back. Welcome in for the first time. Let's get some love in the chat. Isn't he almost 40 as well? He's 37. What do the Mets do in this offseason? Good question. The Mets need pitching, lots of it. Where will they find it? Well, I think that if Severino does not take the QO, because there's still time, we have what it was yesterday was the deadline, so we still have some time. If Severino doesn't take the QO, they can work out a deal with him, I think. And I think he would be open to that. All right. Boom. If the Mets could pick up, like, I think Pivetta wouldn't be too bad of a pickup if they could, but it looks like Pivetta's getting kind of, I don't know, bid for. The thing with Eovaldi, he's been hurt like a lot, but he's so good. You can pull off Eovaldi for a reclamation project a little bit, but again, he's going to be one of the higher valued guys. I don't think they'll be in on a guy like Fried. They should go get a guy like Max Fried. They should go get a guy like Corbin Burns. They should go for someone like that. They should go for a big guy. They have the space for it now. Starting pitching is important. I don't know. I don't think I hate to hurt your guys' feelings here. I don't think Soto should be as high of a priority until they can get a pitcher or two. I don't think he makes a big enough impact. Yeah, I said it. You got to have pitching. You got to. And now they have 3 spots open. Ooh. Maybe Snell. I don't think Snell's too pumped on playing in New York, but that's anecdotal. Again, I think they can pay him. Going and getting a power lefty, if they get him or Fried, I think that would be a big deal. I bet you Jose Butto might move back into the starting rotation. Though he was really good in the pen, not in the playoffs, but in the pen. I think that could happen. I don't know if Scott's going to be in the factoring in or Tyler McGill. I think they might have shipped the ship, maybe sailed on drip a little bit too. I think Soto signs with the Yankees. I still think Soto signs with the Yankees. I think Burns could go to the Mets. The interesting thing is the Mets and the Braves and what they do, right? Because Fried's leaving now. Morton's done. Is Morton done? Morton's done. Morton retired? Or is he still doing it? Snell's live right now playing Fortnite. 2K? What did the Dodgers do this year, this offseason? I'll tell you in a moment. We'll move on. But I think Corbin Burns of the Braves sounds really, really good to me. If they have him and they have Sale, it's really good. I think the Astros re-sign Bregman. Yeah, I think that they should sign Tucker before they sign Bregman. Yeah. Because I also know that everyone and their mom needs corner power. So like Pete Alonso, Christian Walker, Alex Bregman are going to be hot ticket items because corner, it's just, that's the center of your lineup usually. You got to have juice there. Those guys are juice, man. Wouldn't Soto essentially cut off all signings based on payroll size? That's the thing. That's the thing. Morton's staying. Okay. Morton just never, he's like, you know what? I'm close to home. I'll keep playing. I love that guy. I love Charlie Morton. He's one of my favorite guys to listen to talk about pitching. I hope that someday he will come on to my new show that I have going in the background. By the way, I'm not going to tell you any more details about it because I'm still recording the first 5 episodes before I launch it. But I want to have him on that. I love that guy. It's so funny. Keep going. Bueller, I bet you Bueller signs with the Dodgers. I bet you Eovaldi goes somewhere like. So here's the thing. I want to see Eovaldi's market develop because he has been hurt. So it could be something like he could sign a bunch like a year by year deal with like the Brewers or something. I know they usually don't do that, but like I don't know, Eovaldi. I could see Eovaldi like the Twins snagging him, like Sonny Gray in him real quick, that kind of thing. Or he turns out to be like the 3rd best starting pitcher, and everyone's like, oh, we want Eovaldi, and then suddenly now all the big guys are in on him. See, it's going to be interesting to see where he's at, and I actually don't know where he is health-wise either. So, we got to remember another thing. Scott Boras, in on all these guys, right? So we're going to continue our free agency conversation now. Hold on. Well, let's pull this up. Yankees ace Gerrit Cole opts out of contract and then immediately says, no. Let's keep going. So, just so you guys know, when he opted out, he had a 9-year deal. He is done with 5, so he's 4 left on it, right? So he's 4 years, $144 million, and then when he opts out, in order to get him back, they have to add an additional year for $36 million. Then they were like, okay, whatever, see ya. And he's like, oh, we'll discuss it later. And then he just like walked it back. First of all, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you doing? Did you really think they weren't going to do? This is so confusing. How could we be so wrong? Because that makes his bargaining power, like, for all of his other clients, like, that's just a really bad look. It's not Gerrit's fault, but like, that used to be normal. Teams are just saying no, which I don't blame them, but also now they have, I'm feeling they all made shit tons of money this year, especially in the playoffs. Holy shit, they made so much money. So like, if a player can't even use that as leverage to get the things they need, and they're just like, no, and he can't do anything about it, and they just backpedal, then what was the point of it? Like, why is that even in the contract? If it was going to be that easy to get you to back up. A's GM just said Brent Rooker's staying? No shit. What? He's in arbitration. Of course he is. So, that happened. Not a good look for Boris out the day. That's what we call like the gun fires off and you just face plant straight at the starting line. So, it's going to be interesting to see what the rest of his clients do, a.k.a. Blake Snell. Is Burns also Boris? Pete Alonso? Have a hunch the Yankees and Cole Boris agreed to hold off negotiating until Soto signed. Yeah, Tanner, but they already negotiated that part of the contract. They don't have to renegotiate it. They're just like, nah, you can go. And my guess is Gerrit did this as a show of good faith, which a team would never do. I know Burns is a free agent, but is he a Scott Boras client? Do Snell and Burns eat into each other's markets? Yeah. Max Kepler is a free agent and just feels weird to me. It's so funny, Shay, you say that because I feel like he's been a free agent like for 4 years. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how he was on that contract for so long. Sale and they paid for his year for Vaughn Grissom. Yes, things don't pay off sometimes. In their defense at that time, they needed middle infield help. Vaughn Grissom was a middle infielder, and then it just didn't work out. Okay, so Burns is a Boris guy too. Holy shit. When are we baking again? Very soon. I'm going to make Stroop waffles. Where does Carlos Santana sign? Could be anywhere. Basically anywhere who can't afford Pete Alonso or Christian Walker or Paul Goldschmidt. Even though I would take Carlos Santana over Goldie right now. I would. His contract was 2019 to 2023 with the player option. Oh, and he took the player option 2024. And it was he was on originally a 7-year, $35 million deal. He was on the old Ozzie Albies special. I was there when he signed it. Manfred is pushing for competitive balance while cheerleading for Dodgers Yankees. Come on, guys. Let's just. I understand. I don't like them, and I don't like holding water for the powers that be. However, we had not had a powerhouse versus powerhouse matchup in a very long time. I was actually kind of excited to see it. Right? I thought there was no losing unless the Guardians made it. But if the Guardians made it, I wanted them to win it. Right? Because I either like the underdog or I want to see an unstoppable force, unmovable object run into each other. Right? I want to see that. If I'm not going to see one, I want to see the other. So, but yes, they make shit tons of money, like astronomical amounts of money. Oh my God, Shohei Ohtani brought in almost like by himself more money than America brought in. Do you think Soto ends up beating Shohei's $46 million AAV? No, I don't think he gets close. I think he gets a really high AAV, but you can't give him the same amount of money because he doesn't pitch. It's just that simple. It's so funny. Soto wasn't even the best hitter on his team. He is just as good a great hitter, but like Aaron Judge is the MVP. Shohei Ohtani is the MVP in the other league, and he didn't pitch, and he DH'd. It's just a different value proposition. Shohei just brings so much more money with him than Juan Soto does. It's just the value. You can't match Shohei no matter how good you are. You can't, unless you are also Japanese. Yeah, we will not see, but he will get the most money outside of an Ohtani contract, or not, and it's going to be a lot. He's going to get more than Trout got. Yes. Ohtani's contract was unique because of how much of an international marketing powerhouse he is, too. Yes. There were more people in Japan watching Game 5 of the NLDS than there were in America. Sasaki is screwed by the international rules like Shohei was. Yeah. So Sasaki's going to get signed like as a free agent, but not like how old's Roki? He's 22. So if he had played for his 6 years like Yamamoto did, he could get the big contract. But Roki Sasaki is going to have to go do the Ohtani thing, go early, and then get paid later, right? Because he hasn't fulfilled those requirements, which I don't exactly know what they are, but I do know they exist. So Roki Sasaki to the Dodgers. Couldn't Sasaki do that retiring thing? I mean, yeah, but like they can block it, and then it could be legals and whatever. Yeah, he makes $50 million. Yeah, he makes like LeBron James money in sponsorship. But yeah, I think Sasaki to the Sasaki. You guys asked about Sasaki? Now this is going to be interesting because he's got to be like is it the posting fee? Yeah, for example, Oric Buffalo's received a release fee of approximately $50 million. Yeah, so they had to pay $50 million to them. Okay, hold on. McDaniel did explain that there are complicating factors that could prevent the World Series champs from landing Sasaki, including some thought he might prefer a smaller market and concerns he might be nursing an injury because his velocity was down this season. Why would he prefer a smaller market? Sasaki to the Twins. What are your thoughts on the Blue Jays situation with Vladdy and Bo? Dude, they're in a tough spot. I don't know what to do with that. I genuinely don't. I don't know what they have in the farm either. I mean, Roki could go to Seattle. Also, it's a pitcher's park, bro. Who knows? It just depends. How often does he talk to Ichiro? So, I mean, Ohtani's AAV is what did Ohtani get? What was his contract? 12 years, 700. Well, Ohtani was only 29, wasn't he? I really hate the Dodgers stealing every Japanese free agent. I mean, they got Ohtani. And they got 2 in 1 year and none ever before that. So should the Braves go after Bo for shortstop? That would be a good pickup. Yeah, I know Orlando Arcia was not good this year, but if they can grab Shaver, if they grab a pitcher or two with that, the Blue Jays might have an opportunity where they have a guy who has played well in the past, who could be good there, to play the position for now, and then a couple of prospects. I think that's what happens. Now, Vladdy's, I have no fucking clue, guys. I think if they could bring a huge haul for Vladimir, they will. I just don't. He's the face of your franchise, man. Roki comes when? Next year, after this coming year.
Really? Japanese indications Japanese will post them. No. Yeah. So, international bonus pool. So he would have to be paid like a Latin player's paid, or he can wait 2 more years. So we don't know, but he could. He can at any point. They just have to go through the rules change after he's played for 6 years. But I bet you he wants to come, or maybe he doesn't. So we don't know yet. We'll see. But he can. Oh, I don't think you'd get Vladdy in Atlanta. Also, there's a guy named Olsen they got there that I think they're fine with. But Vladdy could go. I don't know, dude. I'm trying because I'm well. Like if the freaking Mariners could just get anybody, the Mariners could trade for Vladdy, which they have traded with the Blue Jays before. They could pick up Pete. They won't. I think the Mariners get Christian Walker. That's what I think. I prefer Soto Ohtani. Soto's the star power, has the star power in my mind. Okay. All right. I mean, the other guys hit 52 home runs and stole 60 bases, but I hear you. Castillo's velo's dropped past couple years. It's kind of hard. Yeah, because he's thrown 1,500 innings. That's what happens. When everyone was like, oh, King Felix doesn't throw very hard at 32 anymore. Yeah, because he's been in the big league since he was 19. He's thrown 200 innings for 13 straight years. That's what happens. Mariners should trade for Ryan Mountcastle. I don't know if that's a when you strike out a lot and you go to the Mariners, you tend to strike out a lot more. I think that would be devastating for Ryan Mountcastle. I don't think that'd be great. Castillo's got a changeup though. He should be able to work around the velo drop, and he throws a slider more than his changeup now. He's a pitcher, man. He's a pitcher. He knows what he's doing. So, all right. So, other free agents, which we were talking about. I actually have a great piece written by Jim Bowden, which we can hop into in a moment. But first, I want to share a little interesting little tidbit of info for you. So, a lot of you guys know about that not so happy 5th inning implosion by the New York Yankees in Game 5 of the World Series, right? You guys know that? This play right here where is it? Here it is. 2. Oh! Okay, we don't want that. We want this to be muted. All right. We'll just watch this here. This play right here. Did you know? This play right here. Oops, that's not what we want. This drop by Aaron Judge was only the 3rd error Aaron Judge has ever made in the outfield, and the first time he's dropped anything in center field in his career, and the first time he's dropped a ball in the outfield since 2017. I repeat, it had been 7 years since he had dropped a ball ever. So not only was it bad, but it was the most rare thing you'll ever see from that guy. He is locked down. That's crazy. He also doesn't have any throwing errors, which I also think is crazy. How? How do you not have any throwing errors? Now, this inning's been covered ad nauseum, guys. I could talk about it all day, about the play at first where Gerrit didn't cover, brain farts left and right. The Volpe play trying to go to third. Honestly, that one was more normal. That was a tough play. But this and whatever. But also,
leaving your starting pitcher out there just to kind of get his face beat in for 5 runs also is not probably the best idea on the planet. Curveball, thank you for 101 bits. Appreciate that. Yeah, crazy play, bro. But it's just how it works. His range is not good. Yeah, but like what I'm saying is when you're an outfielder, man, like Mark Canha actually said this to me once. He said, you got to know yourself, but you also just get to the balls you're supposed to get to. Just get to what you can get to and make the play. If you can't make the play, stem the bleeding. Like if you're not going to be able to make the play, make sure you get that ball in as quickly as you humanly can possible. And just try to make the best decision you can. Aaron Judge does that. Mark Canha does that for the most part. He's got no range. He'll tell you. He's like, I got no range. I just got to catch the things that I can catch as best as I can. That's all I can do. What do I think about Boone as manager? I think he made some mistakes. I don't know. There's a weird like combination of like trying to go analytics, but also then trying to go like rah from the heart with him. And it doesn't really seems to kind of just not really mesh. I don't know. But then again, I don't know. Like there's things are at play that I don't know about, but I will say like some other guys there's other managers that feel more convicted when they make decisions than he seems at times. If that makes sense. Who's the best in-game manager in the MLB right now? Ooh. In-game manager. I don't know. I think there's some guys who are really good at that. I think Pat Murphy's pretty fucking good. I think that Mike Schilt's really good. But they're different styles. Kevin Cash is really good. But again, like, you know, did my mic just get super loud? What is happening? What? I'll turn it down. Sorry. I noticed that. That was weird. Bro, wow. Better? It's louder, but it's probably better. Mendoza's good. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. We don't know the value of redefined stolen bases. So 50 stolen bases means what exactly? 50 stolen bases, brother. They change the rules every year. AJ Hinch, whatever. I'm still mad at AJ Hinch. I had a little bit of an issue. I talked about this. A little bit of an issue. I understand that he didn't like the cheating thing in Oakland, in Houston, but he's also the captain of the goddamn ship, dude. You got to shut it down. Like, you don't just get to be like upset about it, but not do anything. Like, you got to either get rid of it or don't. There's no in between. Did you like Luis Ross? I really like. Am I super? There's no way I'm super quiet. What's happening? Okay, hold on. Yeah, it is lower now. What is going on? Dude, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. Dude, anyway, maybe? I'm not going to move. It seems nice now. It seems nice now. You probably turned me down after I got too loud. Thoughts on Brandon Hyde? Brandon Hyde's done well, but not in the playoffs. Very clear. But then again, they don't score any runs. So I'm trying to think who else. Who else? I bet you there is a court. God, I cannot wait to get in my studio. Nothing is okay. So those of you that aren't familiar with OBS, I have my audio waveforms or like my little meters, and it's been like in the yellow, which is good. And I've turned it all the way up so it'd be in the yellow, and it wasn't going into the red. Usually when I turn it in the red, I peak a bunch going into the red, and then it just suddenly was like, nope, I'm going to peak now. I'm like, oh, okay, and so I turned it back down, and then it went back to the low again. So then I had to turn it up again. So I don't know. Market says council. The market's it's not, the market doesn't work the same for managers. But Craig Counsell is a very good manager. Do you agree with the statement the Yankees and the Dodgers had the same talent, but the Yankees were fundamentally bad? I'd say it's very close in terms of talent, yes. Though I do think the Dodgers were slightly more deep. Trevor, you need to collab with Sim. I'll collab with Sim again. I have actually done a video with them before. Just want to say it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Void. Happy birthday, my guy. Hope it's a good one, dude. As a pitcher, what would you go through your head if the outfield dropped the easy ball like Judge in the playoff situation? I'd be like, mother. They pay you. You know what I mean? No. You'd have to just get over with it. What's the biggest animal you think you could take out from 60 feet away with a baseball? A raccoon. Take out? What does that mean? Knock out or scare off? Is there a chance the Dodgers get Soto? I think there's a very low chance. They would have to, I don't know. They'd have to, take on a loan from the U.S. Treasury or something. I don't know how that could even work. I genuinely, it's so much money now. I don't. Soto would only be able to go there if he took a bunch of deferred money. Also, he is Boris, so there's no way. Yeah, probably a bird. Maybe a squirrel. What's your favorite pitcher to watch in the playoffs? I loved watching Trinan. I really liked watching Banda pitch. Who else pitched? Dude. Freaking Michael King. That start was sick. Trevor, it's election day. What are we doing? Not that. Hey, Genticles. Jen. Hi. Jen. Oh, and Ash. Hey, Ash. Hey, look, we don't play video games. We talk about baseball in the offseason. Sorry, we're talking about free agency, but thank you guys. Hey, anyone who just came in, my name is Trevor. I used to play video games a lot. Now I don't. But Ash and Jen are the best, and they are so nice. Thank you for rating me. Guys, we just got a rate over from Twitch, so give me 1 second. And if baseball's not your thing, if you don't really like sports, feel free to go watch someone else. But I appreciate you being here, and I just want to say hello and thank you. Regardless. You look great today. Thank you. Jen, we need to have you on as a guest for the pod again, by the way. I'll DM you about it. We need another movie because you picked the best movie so far. So we got to do it again. We're doing all guests. We're going to do another new season. We're going to start a new season in a few weeks, and we're going to just do guests for every episode every other week. So, you are one of our Ash, you are also invited if you like movies. So, cool. Great. Did you take a look at Cousins? Yeah, he's got a great sinker. Though he looked like he was in full panic the whole time. They also get Fried and Adames and don't get Tio. Ooh, dude. I think Willie Adames to the Dodgers is a good pickup. I think he's a quality player. I think that he would be a good pickup there. I think Fried wants to go there, but I don't know if they'll be able to pay him. I think that Max Fried should be paid. And I don't know if he can get paid there. I think everyone wants to go to the Dodgers. So, who is the most disappointing player you saw in the playoffs? I think he would agree. Phil Maton was pretty disappointing. I've always been a Maton fan, so, but it's just he just didn't have very good command, and he might have been tired. It was just that point in time. Who else? Who else was disappointing? Who else didn't hit? Who didn't hit? Austin Wells. I was hoping he would do a little bit more. He was really fun to watch during the season. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to look past Judge. Still love you as a baseball fan. I followed you through Jen, Lupo, and Paul, and not through baseball. Hey, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Phil's 5 through 8. Yeah, it's so funny. Like those true disappointments. Like I can't even think of them. They were so disappointing to me. The entire Orioles staff. Flaherty was mostly disappointing. He had two great starts the 2 times he needed to in game ones. The 2 game ones he threw great. The other times he didn't throw great. That's fine. I thought he was pretty good. You wouldn't. Let's put it this way: Dodgers would not have won the World Series without Jack Flaherty. So, and also, did you know that Michael Kopech was the first player to ever play for a 121 loss team and win a World Series the same year? What do you think about the A's not using the Sacramento name? It makes sense. It's a temporary home. Favorite player as a kid? Edgar Martinez was my favorite position player. My favorite pitcher was Nolan Ryan, followed very closely by Randy Johnson. Favorite manager to play for? Rocco Baldelli. And then Buck Showalter. And then Louis Rojas right after that. And then Paul Molitor. Like, I liked them all. I didn't really dislike, and Kotze. I really didn't dislike any of my managers. I questioned some of their decisions sometimes in my head and out loud. But like, whatever. They questioned my pitch choices. So like sometimes, it's give or take. It's whatever. But I would say Rocco was probably the one I had the most rapport with, followed by Kotze. So he's just chill, man. He's chill as hell. Ooh, where do you think Jordan Romano ends up? Is he a free agent? Tough platform year. He might get a 1-year reclamation project situation. He might go to like the Orioles or the Red Sox. Like they get him 1 year, $8 million or something. What do you think about the salary cap discussion and the deferred payroll strategy the Dodgers got going on? Jeremy, what do you mean exactly about the salary cap discussion? There cannot be a salary cap discussion until player control is reduced from 6 years. It can't be 6 years of control anymore if you want a salary cap. Either you got to get rid of a year of ARB or 2 years of ARB. You got to get rid of 1 or 2 options. Teams will have to relinquish some level of control over their players if they want a salary cap. Do you think Manaea is going to stay with the Mets? I would say that him getting qualifying offered after opting out is not a great sign. In Sean Manaea's defense, if there is a 4 or 5 year deal out there for them, he's got to take it. I wouldn't blame him at all for that. I know it was magic in New York, but like if they're not going to offer you that same thing, if you're just going to get a 1 year deal there, you got to take your multi-year deal. Multi-year contracts guaranteed are just not as common anymore. Do I think Bauer ever gets back in the league? I think that the ship has sailed. Who going to trade for Devin Williams? Oh, freaking anybody. Everyone wants him. They'll trade Devin Williams straight up for Taylor Rogers. Try it again. Let's go for it. Did I see the Morosi tweet about the M's? I did not. What do we have on the M's? Did the Braves sign Fried and Adames? I think that it's a very good call on the Willie Adames being either a Brave if they're able to move Arcia or do something with him, get something for him, or the Dodgers are good. They need a shortstop. I think Willie's going to go to a team because he's going to make a good amount of money, but it's not going to be insane. Like he's going to make a lot. He's going to make $100 million plus, right? He's going to make a lot of money, but he's not going to get, Carlos Correa money, right? It's going to be affordable to bigger teams. So I feel like he's going to go to an already contender that has a big hole in the center of the infield. Do you represent Players Union and CBA stuff ever? I was an alternate, and I was very active in the public side of things and having conversations inside. But no, I was never the rep. Everywhere I always went, there was already a rep. Soto for Alonso? What do you think? And how? What do you mean? Traded? Oliobo, Prime, look at you. Another Prime sub. Thank you so much for your Prime Gaming sub. I appreciate that. You think it's pretty likely Pete ends up a Yankee? Honestly, that is a good call. For one, he likes New York City. He's built a life there. So if the Mets aren't an option, it would be a second option. 2, they didn't pick up Rizzo. 3, but again, the Yankees are the front runner for Soto. They're not going to do anything until they know what they can do with him. Carlos Santana be a good fit for the Seattle Mariners? Yeah, run it back again. Braves, I think the biggest Braves get would be like, if they could get like an Adames Corbin Burns, if they could just go grab the Brewers real quick, that'd be big. If they can grab a shortstop and they can grab a starting pitcher, like a high-quality starting pitcher. Braves and Corbin Burns sounds really good to me. Worst owner in baseball besides Fisher? It's either Reinsdorf, the group over in Colorado. Though the group in Colorado I hear is like not bad to deal with. I don't mind how they operate. I just don't think they do a good job of building competitive baseball teams. I would not to be a fan of the team, but for playing there, I've heard like, yeah, it's like going back into the dark ages, but they give a shit about you, which is nice. Oh, and Art Moreno. Art Moreno might be the worst. Just in terms of baseball IQ, the guy's just like oblivious. I have no idea what's happening there. Like he seems confused why they're bad, and I'm like, dude, it's because you haven't signed a starting pitcher in 10 years. What are you talking about? Skip Schumacher just got hired by the president of baseball operations. Wait, then what's Chris Young, a VP now? Or did he leave? Doesn't Monfort Rockies chair all the owners' committees? He does. You know why? Because no one wants to do it, dude. No one wants to do that job. That job sucks. Do you think Matt Brass comes back to form off the injury? Yeah, I do. Special assistant, not president. I got you. Gotcha. How big will MILB players joining their players union be long term? I mean, not huge. It's huge in a way. But honestly, now they're just going to get a baseline of quality of life, which before it was literally a crapshoot. We were like seasonal workers. Manfred said that once, by the way. He said they're seasonal workers, like they wrap freaking presents at JCPenney around Christmas time. That's not what they do, even though they probably took that job as a side job when they went home, because you don't pay them any goddamn money, Rob. You see the Padres thing with the 14-year-old? They signed for $4 million, but he was actually 19. Yikes! The Padres, bro. Yikes. But it is big, yeah. It is. Ideal Red Sox signing this offseason. Okay, so say they lose Pivetta. Bro, they need pitching. They need a stud. They need a stud. Sidney Bayo is not it, or not Sidney. Why do I always call him Sidney Bayo? Brian Bayo. He ain't it. He's fine. He's solid, but he's not it. He's not an ace. Patrick Crawford's not an ace. Tanner Houck, not an ace. But that said, those are solid 3 guys. But they need a guy who's their game 1 guy. They need a game 1 guy. So maybe Fried, maybe Snell, maybe Burns. I could see Burns going there. I could see them forking out for Burns. Do they have Griffin Canning now? Where do I think Bregman lands? Ooh, that's it's hard to tell if he'll go. I think he wants to go back to Houston. I don't think he will unless Kyle Tucker. They figure something out with Kyle Tucker because he's gonna be really expensive. But if freaking Mariners could grab him, it'd be so big. The Mariners could get him. Who else? Who else needs a third baseman? I don't know, freaking everybody. Actually, not that many people. Oh, Canning's been in Atlanta for 5 days. Oh, gotcha. When's Giolito supposed to be back? I think start of the year. Does Bregman play third base? He better play third base. It's not a very big target at first. No shade. I'm just saying. What do you mean? What's the deal with Glaber? Adames. And then, guys, everyone we've talked about, the Giants will be talking to them. And they don't have Farhan anymore, and now it's Buster Posey. So we'll see how that works out. I don't know how that's going to work. That's actually super confusing. You think Mariners are going to get Bregman and Walker? No. I think they're going to get one. If they get Walker, they're not getting Bregman. And Walker's going to be way cheaper. Not way cheaper, but he will be cheaper. They need one of them. They need one of them. What are the chances Corbin Burns signs back with the Orioles? I don't think they're going to do that. They don't really do anything there. Why no qualifying offer? My only guess would be that the Yankees think he would take it, and I think they want to move on. That would be my guess. Yeah, it's not a good sign. No, it's not. Or they don't think. Yeah. Yeah, but we talked about this earlier, Branch. Like the QO guys that you know are going to leave. So they're not confident he's going to leave, or they would have QO'd him. If they were like really confident he's going to leave, they'll just QO him. Like, he's going to leave anyway, so we'll get a free pick. But they're like, if we QO him, he's going to take that shit, and we don't want to keep him. We don't want to give him $21 million. That's probably what it comes down to. I mean, they kind of freaking uppercutted Gerrit Cole, too, for $36 million. So it's like, Cashman sounds like he's like, hey, what do you say? No. And then he hangs up, and I was like, what the fuck? Lamont Wade Jr.? Yeah, dude. Anyone should want Lamont Wade. That guy is good, man. He's a great hitter. Like, he's one of those guys who's like, he's never going to be the best hitter on his team, but like, he makes everyone in front of him and behind him better. He sucks to pitch to. He really sucks. Oh, also, I think you're right about the Glaber thing. Someone mentioned, why not re-sign him? I think they can re-sign him for cheaper. They're like, we could probably get him for 2 years, 21, guys. So 21 was probably too high, and they thought he was going to take it. I think that's what happens. Kirby for J-Ram, straight up. You kidding me right now, fam? Oh, you mean Jose Ramirez, who's just fifth in the MVP voting every single year? Oh, Soler for Canning, huh? We'll see. I doubt Soler breaks with that team. He's still on contract? What moves did the Cincinnati Reds make? Hiring Tito Francona. Terry Francona was a huge pickup. If they can grab a pitcher as well, it's just they're just going to have the reclamation project again. Or they let Nick Lodolo or Graham Ashcraft to figure it out because their guys are nasty. Angels took on all of Soler's money too. Well, then I'll just say this. The team that's going to lose this one is probably going to be the Angels because they lose every single time. Oh, yeah, Yankees. Yeah. Put Jazz at second. Good point. Oh, maybe Bregman to the Yankees? Third base? That'd be a good pickup. That's a short porch. And that's not to say that that Bregman can't hit homers in big parks. He just thrives when it's a short porch to left. Like, it's perfect for him. Joe Jimenez is out for the year. Did he blow out? Oh, Blake Snell. We talked about Blake. Dude, I don't know what Blake. I think we're in the same boat as last year, man. He's trying to get as close. I think he wants to come here up to Seattle. Dude, they're not going to sign you, Blake. They're never going to sign a pitcher. Ever. Knee surgery. Damn it. Would you ever want to be an MLB pitching coach? Yeah, if they let me just zoom in and not ever have to go. Blake is asking for too much money? No, he's not. Blake is asking for the right amount of money that his production requires. I mean, he was the best pitcher on the planet for about 10 straight starts there. I just think he's really limited on the teams he would play on. I think that's what's happening. I think he's really specific about. I just think he's got a pool of teams that's like 2 or 3, and he can't get those teams to play ball. But if he were like open to playing for anybody, I think he would be much more likely to get a bigger contract. That's what it costs for that kind of freaking dominance, man. Bregman doesn't have that much power. He benefited massively for juice balls. I mean, he still has 20 plus a year, man. Like, that's not nothing. You have to get that many. You have to get production like that at third base. And he's a really good defensive third baseman. Did we already discuss Alonso? We did. Someone threw out Yankees as a good option. I thought that was a good call because he gets to stay where he is, and they need a first baseman. But again, payroll, man. Like, where the f*** is Soto going to sign? God, we're going to wait forever for Soto. I have a horrible feeling. I think Alonso, the Pirates, for a plane ticket and a Happy Meal. So, okay, Alex Bregman's what, 30? I bet you Bregman signs a 5-year deal with maybe like a team option or a mutual option for a 6-year. And I could see him going 25 here. I could see him being like 5 for 150. Pete Alonso to the Cubs, possibly. That's a good pickup, too. Ooh, that's a good call. They have a little more cap, I think. Do you think the Braves resign Darno? I think he'll take some calls. Yeah. I think $7 million for Darno. The thing is, he kind of splits time, so he's not the full-time catcher. And I think another team will pay him a little bit more. But if no one does, yeah, he'll resign. I think he likes being there. You know, what was it? What was the option? It was like 7 or 7 flat. I could see him signing 1 year for 6 or something. Owner's going to blackball Boris again. They can't really do that because he is every single big guy. Yeah, Bregman's a very good player. Yeah. Yeah, that's $25 million easy a year. 100%. That's 25 AAV right there. What was the number? The number for F-WAR is it's like 6.1 million per WAR. So yeah, that comes out to about 25 average. How's anyone beating the Dodgers after they get Soto? You know who else isn't beating them? Some small countries with how much they're paying people. I don't know. Like, what the hell? There's no way they get Soto. They can't. He has to defer like 80% of his contract again. Any impact Japanese or Korean free agents? Korea is always a crapshoot. The best players that come from Korea, for the most part, usually are American guys who went over there, who come back and are Korea's just a lower level. But Japanese, Roki Sasaki is probably the big one. Bregman gets 7 trash years reduced AV, maybe. Yoel Moncada, Houston? I don't know. I haven't thought about Yoel Moncada anymore. People talked about how Cohen would be willing to spend, but I feel like it hasn't fully materialized. Do you not remember 2023? What are you talking about? They spent so much money. So much money on Scherzer and Verlander. They were still over the cap last year. Of course they have. He's willing to do it if someone tells him what to do. But I just don't think that's the way Stern operates, man. You mean results? Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it takes time, guys. By the way, did you guys know that I was the first guy signed in the Steve Cohen era? Did you know that? Can you explain why Sasaki would have to be a minor league contract? No, he would have to sign he can't sign a big league contract. So, if he doesn't play 6 years in Japan to become a free agent there, he then has to go through the international signing process, which is what we do for like Latin players in their teens and like Cuban players. Actually, Cuban players can't do that either because they defect. That's different. So you have to treat him like he is an amateur because he is not a free agent yet. Right? So you have to give him a signing bonus. Like Ohtani got $2.3 million when he came over. And then you sign him to a minor league contract, but then he comes over and he makes the minimum in the big leagues. So he's going to go right to the big leagues. So you sign a minor league contract, then you're put on the 40-man, and they just go through the process. But yeah, you get a signing bonus like an international signing, like a guy from Australia would get. You have to do that. I mean, that's the agreement they have. Yeah, the Mets have the highest payroll. yeah. It's so funny, too, like the year that they're trying to shed payroll, they get the farthest. But yeah, he's open to it. I think that if the right opportunity presents itself, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting with the combination of Cohen and Stearns, how they go after Soto. I don't know if Soto wants to. I don't know why. I'm like, Soto's a Yankee. Like, he's just got Yankees written all over him. The shuffle, everything. It's all Yankee shit. Like, I don't know. Yeah, he's under 25, so he's an IFA. Yeah, IFA. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the only reason 25 isn't actually the cutoff. It's 6 years, but he will be 25. Same thing with Yamamoto. They both got up to the big leagues at 19. So that's why. You saw the Oh My God signs going in the Hall of Fame? That's pretty cool. Who's your way too early AL Central pick for 2025? Los Tigres. No. I think, dude. I mean, you can't really count the Guardians out, man. They had the whole team back. Do signing bonuses get factored into AV? Nope. No, they do not. Saying the Royals get a bat. So the only reason I didn't say Royals is because I couldn't, off the top of my head, remember about Waka and Lugo, like all the older guys they have in the rotation, and what their futures look like. I couldn't remember. But yeah, the Royals are going to be there too. I just couldn't remember the pitching side. But they have Urseg. They got my guy Lucas Urseg and Sammy Long, bro, holding it down for them. It was awesome. Ooh, Hassan Kim's dude. By the way, Hassan Kim's another maybe Braves, right? Maybe Braves. Maybe Doyers. They would hate him there. Walker just signed an extension. Okay. And then we got to talk. The Twins are still good. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going anywhere. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good to watch. Isn't it funny how the Padres suddenly need a shortstop? Xander, we need you to switch back over, bro. Who should the Reds target? I never know who the Reds should target. They like make their team out of freaking prospects and non-tender dudes every year. They need a pitcher. They need an ace. I think Tito's going to be huge, though. I think they're going to be good without adding a bunch. They got to trade for somebody, too. They can't get one of these free agents. I'm trying to think who a mid-level free agent starting pitcher is that's going to be available. Like, I could see, like, Severino, maybe. Yeah, like a reclamation project, maybe. So if signing bonuses aren't factored in, why not just give a huge signing bonus and a cheaper contract? Wouldn't that help with the luxury tax? It would, but it wouldn't help with taxes. So here's what you need to know. How familiar are you with the amortization of expenses? What do you remember from personal finance class? So when you pay it all at once, up front, the tax burden, or if you're the company that's paying it, your ability to spread that expense over a long period of time, it's really hard to do. And then suddenly you're paying taxes to the government that you didn't want to pay. This is how large companies avoid paying taxes. They basically just spread out their expenses in clever ways that make it so they can get through paying taxes, which us laymen would call lying, but that's neither here nor there. And that's why teams don't do that. That's why teams love deferred money, because then you can spread that shit out forever. So. Amortization. It's saying, instead of paying $200 now, I'm going to pay $10 for 20 months. But You actually paid $200 now, and what you're doing is reporting that you're paying $10 a month on it, even though you're not. That's called dodging taxes as a corporation. Boo, boo, boo. So, anyway, but as a player, you do want all the money up front because then you get to put it in the stock market, and then it makes more money over time before you have to pay taxes on it. It's all very, very interesting. Tax liability mitigation accountant. Exactly. Isn't that fun? And that's why big corporations can avoid taxes and we can't. I can for a little bit. I used to be able to really well. And then in 2017, that all got ruined as well. But that's why people who don't make salaries and get like capital gains get to avoid taxes, and we don't. That's what's so funny about the whole taxes conversation constantly happening. We're going to raise the federal tax. The federal tax rate is not the thing that is the problem. The problem is the loopholes that people can use all the time. We never talk about those, though. We just talk about the basic, easy to digest numbers that actually don't really move the needle. Anyway. We won't keep it. Do MLB teams match the 401k? Yes, to the legal limit. So it's $15,000 a year or whatever, or $1,750 now. Yes, they do. We have a really good 401k plan and really good pension plan. Think the Mariners going to do anything? Yeah, man, they're going to totally do something. Guys, don't worry. Hey, Mariners fans, don't worry. Jerry's got Excel open right now. And he's using his massive brain to come up with a solution. Okay? Let's just trust. Trust him. How can you expect anyone to do anything in 10 years, guys? Come on. I'm just joking. Jerry, I know you're listening. I'm just kidding. It was just a joke. They're going to play baseball next year, yeah. No, I think they I think Christian Walker should be a guy they go for. Then again, he is a power guy, which every time they do that, not good. Mariner fan for life, died regretting it. How many different baseball teams have fans that would say that? I think there's like 20 teams that are like, I'm suffering. I kind of wanted them to get Pete. Oh, I'd love for them to get Pete. First of all, Pete, you live with me now. Congratulations. I'll drive you to the field. Be in my podcast. And then, but I just don't think they'll pony up. I don't think it'll happen. Thoughts on JT and Rayleigh splitting first base and DH? Yeah, go for it. I think Rayleigh should be playing every day. What's Luis Arias contract like? That's interesting. I don't know. Because there's no pop. What do you give a guy who's won 3 straight batting titles? I don't know. It's like kind of unprecedented. I don't know. How much did Tony Gwynn get? Saw tweets from Yankees fans talking about how they're the least lucky franchise in the history of the game. We did this the other day. Guys like, come on, man. We haven't won one in 15 years. It's been half my life. I'm like, dude, there's like 10 teams that have never won one. I just don't want to hear, I've had to wait for a decade. Mariners fans are like, dude, we've existed for 50 years and we've never gotten past the division series. Shut up. But you know what I mean? Like, everyone has this. There's no sympathy, nor even empathy. It's annoying. Yeah. When you have 27 rings, even though 21 of them were won when there was 5 teams in the league, even that, you can't claim that. Especially when when you make 9 out of 10 playoffs. At least you're there. At least you have something to be excited about, right? So, anyway, it's whatever. Fandom's fandom. They can say whatever they want. Anyone can say whatever they want. I think it's great. It's just the point. It's why we do this. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's 30 teams. Statistically, you should win one every 30 years, and that should be the mean amount. It's not, but it should be. So, with that in mind,
I would say that the Guardians are due. It's been 80 years for them. I'd say the Brewers are probably due. The Mariners are probably due. Instead of the Brewers being the team that loses to the World Series championship in the first round every year, they get there. Biggest shock signing in free agent hot take. Ooh, who's going to shock the world? I'm trying to think. Who would sign a team friendly? Pete Alonso to the Mets for like $10 a year. Tio, I don't think Tio goes back to LA. He's gonna have a good market. I don't think Tio's going back. Dude, outfield power. What do you mean? I think Tio's gonna get money. I think Santander is also gonna get money. So, Yankees already checked in with Pete. Of course they did. That makes a lot of sense. They should. Dude was in tears at the World Series parade and basically begged to come back. I mean, I'm sure they'd love to have him back, but he's not going to come for he's not going to be like, oh yeah, I'll take 4 years of $25 million. Like he's just not gonna, he's going to be expensive. We just talked about this. The Dodgers have so much fucking money out there. How you can't pay everyone. What's going to happen to Rizzo? That's interesting too. I think that he'll go to a team that needs somebody who can play first. I know that's pretty straightforward. I'll see Pete in the Yankees uniform. I might cry. Yeah, it would be weird. I don't know if I would like that. But also, I think it would be best for him. Rizzo back to the Cubs. That's a good option. Where's Roki going? Dodgers. Mariners. Roki's going to the Mariners. It's interesting then, like, how does it work then when they're signed? I don't know. All right, let me just check. We had a lot of free agency here. They like the Blue Jays for Corbin Burns. No. Oh, what do you guys think of Sasaki to the Red Sox? Dude, if the Mariners could frickin' trade for Yandy Diaz, oh my God, it'd be great. Yeah, they got Bregman. Even Jim Bowden's got Bregman for the Mariners. Mets and Yankees. I don't know about the Mets, but Yankees and Mariners, top two, same. Someone asked about Soto to the Nationals earlier. No, they're not ready yet. Ooh, Shamanaya to the Rangers. It's going to be interesting to see what the Rangers do. You know, they're a year away from World Series. They got to do something now. Do you believe in life after love? Always. Do you think that Jazz learns to stop acting like a Padre and learn to bite his tongue? What does that mean? Why would he bite his tongue? When was he? What was the issue? To answer your question, no. Buster. Yeah, I could say that. The whole Ray squad is on the trading block. They always are. The Blue Jays are interesting to me because they have to make a decision one way or the other. The Mariners have to do something, but it'll just be tepid, like it is all. And then Jerry will get up there in his sunglasses and be like, you know, with his vineyard vines quarter zip and be like, well, you guys just don't get it. And then I don't know why I act like I dislike this guy so much. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he didn't sign me. I think I'm just bitter. I'm just super bitter. I'm just bitter. I'll own it. I'm bitter. I'm petty, and I'm going to stick to it. It's who I am. It's what I'm about. Clark Schmidt breakout. I think we've seen about what Clark Schmidt has, in my opinion. Good breaking balls.
Okay, the question no one cares about. What did the White Sox do? Hopefully, get a new owner, and then go from there. I truly believe Dipoto got hosed by ownership last offseason. I think that Dipoto's really, really tight with ownership. That's what I think. You think Jeff McNeil or Starling Martin could try to? That's 100% in the realm of possibility. Those would be good pickups for someone else. So you'd sign me, Trev. Thank you. Oh, the White Sox are going to be freaking terrible next year. They're not going to be that bad, but they're going to be terrible. They sign Snell and then trade Kirby or Gilbert. I don't think. I think that George Kirby is this close to being a perennial Cy Young candidate. I think he messes around too much. He tries to get cute too much. I think he likes his ability to command the ball a little bit too much, and he throws the ball in the strike zone too much. That he's more dominant than he is produced. But I think eventually he's going to figure that out because he's a smart guy. Will Beatty get more playing time next year? He's got to play good. Got to play good. What's a 2-year for year 2 for Gill look like? I have no reason to think that Louis Heel won't be really good next year. So anyway, guys. All right. So it is 3 p.m. I got on a little early so I could make it through here. So let me just run through what we have going on here on the show. We are just about to wrap it up. That was a great conversation about a lot of free agency stuff. This will probably go up as a video with some of the highlights somewhere in the next week or so. I have a ton of YouTube videos on the block. Seriously, there's so many videos being edited and made. Some deep dive stuff, some like other stuff, some like interview type stuff, some like documentary style stuff. I have a new project going that I'm working on too that I think you guys are gonna really enjoy. I got a lot of stuff going on. So make sure you sub to the channel, please. Sub to the YouTube and also thumbs up the video. It means a lot to me. It really helps people see it. It's helpful. The new stream is getting set. I'm going into the office again tomorrow. I'm actually doing a bunch of testing. So I have 2 camera angles. The green screen's going up. All the cables are going to get put and consolidated and stuff. The lighting's getting put in. And so we're getting close. But we're probably still like a month away from me launching that. So be patient. But we will be back on Monday. I'm just going to continue going Mondays at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Every single Monday, Mayday. We're going to do Mayday show. I will try my best to have things prepared. If you have questions, you ever want questions answered, and you weren't able to get it done on the stream and you want me to do it on the next stream, join the Discord. Go to the channel that says Ask Questions for Trevor. I may answer it between the shows. I may answer it on the shows, okay? But I see them. I see you. I see them. Thank you guys for being here. And I am feeling much better. I had a great time. What's the secret baked good for the vid? Oof. Stroop waffle. If you've never had one, look them up. They're so good. Stroop waffle. All right. I love all of you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget, drink water and stay hydrated. And also, try not to look at social media today. Because it's a bloodbath out there. All right. I love all of you no matter who you voted for. I'm just glad you did. All right. Have a good one. See you guys later. Awkward. The music's not playing. This is so awkward.